Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to the worldwide family. All praises to the Most High for allowing us to see another Sabbath day. Y'all know how we do it. Women uncover their head, men cover their head when praying or prophesying within the assembly. And we turn toward holy Jerusalem and lift up our hands unto our Father, our Heavenly Father. I'm going to turn it over to Brother Ariel. He's going to get us the Psalms in, and then we're going to get started with this lesson.
All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of His only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior, and He's our Redeemer. It's Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know Him as Jesus the Christ, family. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 26th chapter, it reads, Judge me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Most High. Therefore, I shall not slide. Examine me, O Master, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash mine hands in innocency, so will I compass thine altar, O Yahweh, that I may publish with the voice of thanksgiving, and tell of all thy wondrous works. Yahweh, I have loved the habitation of thy house, and the place where thine honor dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me, and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless the Most High. Hallelujah! Say what? Yes, sir. That was Psalms 26, Imam.
All right, so all praises to the Most High. So before we get started, do we got any questions, anything on your heart, mind, or soul? Before we get into this lesson. Any prayers?
Continue to lift up my daughter in prayer, if you would. I'd greatly appreciate it.
What you got, sis? Could you speak up a little bit? I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Todd Shepherd.
It's the house of Uriah and Hananiah.
Yes, sir.
You know, our people over in the Holy Land, Adar, Yisrael, Imam Naomi. And pray for me too, family. Oh, pray for me. Please, Lord, pray for me.
Yeah. Pray for all of us.
Yes,
the brethren down in Florida, St. Phineas, Judah Matthias, Quick, G5.
Pray for Israel.
Everybody, all the brethren, all the sisters, imams, elders. Floyd Hill Jr. Yeah, anybody else we forgot?
Is that anybody? You say you ain't got nothing out there, too, boss? All right, so with that being... Oh. Absolutely. All praise to the Most High. So, if we ain't got nothing else, we'll go ahead and get started. So the title of this class today is called From Eden to Eternity. God's desire to dwell with man. And what we're going to look at today, y'all, starting in the book of Genesis on God's original design for him to be in a close relationship or close communion with his creation, with his image. You know, so it was never designed for us to be separated from God. Right. But due to sin and transgression, like it say in Isaiah 59, that, you know, it's our sins that separate us from God. And we're going to understand today why sin can't dwell in the presence of the Most High. So he had to run Adam and Eve out of the garden, or else it was going to get dangerous for him, being in his holy presence. So we're going to show how the Garden of Eden and New Jerusalem are the same exact thing. The end is the beginning, and the beginning is the end. And we're going to show everything in the middle. Shalom, bro. How throughout the whole existence of humanity, God has always desired to dwell with us. Whether it was in Eden, in the Garden of Eden, or in the future in New Jerusalem, or through the tabernacle and through the temple, God has always desired to be in a close relationship with us. So with that being said, we're going to start this off in Genesis chapter 2 and run Genesis chapter 3 as well, and showing God's original design. And his original design was to be in close proximity with us, y'all. It wasn't to be far off. You know, for us to be here on earth and for him to be all the way in heaven like he's some distant father, right, or something like that.
Absent father.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not an absent father.
The whole plan and design was for the heaven and earth to always have been connected. You know, so like it was in the Garden of Eden, Adam had a close relationship with the Most High and with the Messiah. But it was some things that caused him, or caused the Most High to have to put a separation or a veil between him and us. So we're going to get into it today, y'all. So we're going to start this off in the book of Genesis chapter 2.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, and we're going to start the reading in verse 1. Everybody there? That's up toward the front of the book. Just for those who might not be. All right. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day Yahweh ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Yah blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Yah created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Most High Yah made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Most High Yah had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. Right. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Most High Yah formed man of the dust of the ground.
What he formed man from?
From the dust of the ground.
So understand, when he's saying he formed man from the dust of the ground, dust is the residue of dirt. It's what's left over. It's what's, when you run your hand across that fireplace and you see that dust on your hand, that real fine particles. He said, that's what I made man out of. Essentially, almost nothing is what he made man out of. Nothing.
Right.
That's why he says a man's life is like a vapor.
Yeah.
Because dust, you blow it, it's like
gone.
a vapor, it's gone.
It's gone. Just as quick as it came, it's gone.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So absolutely. Our life is like a vapor. That's why we only have a split second to make an impression on the Most High and to live a righteous lifestyle. Because just as quick as you came, you going. Life is short. You ain't got forever to get it right. Come on.
Dust in the wind.
And the Most High Yah formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
He did what?
He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Come on.
And man became a living soul.
So we only alive right now because we breathing the breath that the Most High put in us. At any moment and at any time, the Most High can decide to take that breath away from you.
Yep.
And you will return to the dust from which you came, and your soul will go to a place of judgment. So remember that when we have to remember these things when we live in life, y'all. We just living on borrowed time anyway. The breath we breathe is not ours. Come on.
Verse 8. And the Most High Yah planted a garden eastward in Eden.
He planted a garden where?
Eastward in Eden. And there he put the man whom he had formed.
So I want to hold that real fast, and I want to connect this with 2nd Ezra chapter 3 verse 5. So when y'all get a chance, write that in y'all notes. So write it in your Bible right next to this Genesis chapter 2 and verse 8. 2nd Ezra chapter 3 verse 5. And it's gonna show us that the Garden of Eden was here before the world ever existed. Before man was formed, before the foundations of the earth was laid, the Garden of Eden was already here. What you was gonna say, Elisha?
No, I was just saying, there was a heavenly tabernacle before the earthly tabernacle.
Absolutely.
You got it, license?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, it's just that one verse.
2nd Ezra, chapter 3, 3 and 5.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
I'll
read
start at 4.
Yeah.
2nd Ezra, chapter 3, verse 4. O Elohim, who bearest rule, thou spakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth.
When he did his what?
Plant the earth.
Come on.
And that thyself alone, and commandest the people, and gavest a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of thine hands, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee.
Right.
And thou leddest him into paradise.
Into where?
Paradise,
Which is the Garden of Eden. Come on.
which thy right hand had planted before ever the earth came forth.
So you see that? So the Garden of Eden or paradise existed before the world ever was. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he say I planted a garden eastward in Eden. And we're gonna look at that eastward, man, because when you start looking at it, it's something about that east.
Yes, sir.
About the east. When you get into that Ezekiel 40 through 48, you see the Lord entering through the east gate into the Holy of Holies. You see Adam and Eve getting driven out of paradise through the east. The garden was
From
placed
the
in the east.
So they going in the opposite
Yeah,
direction.
they going in the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? So it's something about that east that we need to look at.
And then also in Solomon chapter 8, in 1 Kings chapter 8, it says, pray towards the east.
Pray towards the
Where
east.
he said his name.
Absolutely.
That thy prayers and supplications may be heard.
So absolutely. So I just wanted to show that this garden, it was around before the earth was. And look, this what Moses, it said, the pattern that Moses had, how he made the tabernacle and all the furniture and the utensils, all of that was designed based off of what he seen in the heavens, the vision that he was given. So the whole setup of the tabernacle was based on a heavenly pattern.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So again, the Garden of Eden was created before the earth ever came forth. Come on.
And you'll see this consistency.
Yeah, it's a consistency.
You'll see the consistency from the heavens to the earthly, and the patterns is after that which is heavenly. Everything that deals with Elohim, which is the Father, Holy Son, and the Holy Spirit, is a consistency.
Yeah.
And it never fails. It always stays within its right righteousness
Right.
path.
And that's why he say, I'm the same today, tomorrow, and forever. And you will see this, you know what I'm saying, from Eden to the tabernacle, to the temple, to New Jerusalem.
Yes,
It's
sir.
all the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's his desire to dwell with us, to have some type of close relationship and communion with his creation. You know what I'm saying? And they want to get to the point to where he doesn't have to have a veil between us.
Right.
To where he can walk in the garden just like he did with Adam and Eve. And he walked in the garden. He didn't have to hide behind a veil within the holy place. Because as we're going to see later on, see the presence of the Most High. It consumes wickedness. It consumes it. Just to enter into his presence, being wicked, you will automatically be consumed or destroyed.
Yes, sir.
So he had to put a veil up, and that's why Aaron could only go behind her once a year.
Once a year.
Once a year, and he had to go behind, and when he went behind her, he had to follow strict instructions. To where if he didn't follow, I mean, if he left out one eye, or didn't dot his I's across his T's and do exactly what the Most High said, it would have been the end of Aaron. Or if anybody would have went back there that wasn't supposed to be back there, it would have been detrimental for you because you would have been consumed. Because as we're gonna see, the Lord is a consuming fire.
Yes, sir.
He a consuming fire, just like he came to Moses in a burning bush. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see a lot of things today. God, he has a desire to dwell with us.
And he's not a far, like these pagan religions and the beliefs of the pagans. They have their God. They can't never see.
Mm-hmm.
They can't talk to him. There's no relationship between them and their deity. But our God is very near to us. In so much that he wants to be a tangible God to us. That we can see him and talk to him and commune with him on a regular basis.
Right.
And that's what my brother is going to hit on today, is how the Most High's desire was to be in the presence of his creation, not a distant father.
He doesn't want to be an absentee dad.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We don't have an absentee dad.
One
He's married unto us. And when you're married, there's a relationship.
Right.
And if there's a relationship, he's present.
Absolutely. He not one of them ones where you just call him every now and again, but you never get to behold or be in his presence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? God wants us to be in his presence, but in order for us to be in his presence, man, we got to have a certain type of behavior. You have to be found without spot or without wrinkle. Because if you got any spot or if you got any wrinkle in you, you could be consumed.
Yeah.
You could be destroyed.
Yeah.
Because his characteristic, one of his main characteristics and his main nature is holiness. And when you understand what it means to be holy, it's to be completely set apart.
Right.
Completely set apart. Completely separated. That's why he say, I'm light, and there is no darkness in me. If there's any darkness in you, then it could spell trouble for you being in the presence of the Most High.
You
So-
got to be totally convicted in your own heart.
Absolutely.
You got to want to serve the Most High. When I came into the knowledge of the truth, well, I'll back it up even before that. When I got electrocuted and almost died, my people was like, come to church with us and tell the story to the church so they'll know. And I was like, no, your church can't get the glory for this. This is of the Most High. But then once I put it in my mind and my heart to serve the Most High, I knew it wasn't all just about going to church on Sundays. It's more than just that. It's a lifestyle. You have to turn away from the wickedness of the world and want to serve the Most High and make your daddy proud. You don't want to be sneaking around and then get caught up, because once you choose this, everybody going to be looking at you and looking for some type of fault in your walk so they can have something to say. And they'll be like, I knew that nigga wasn't for real.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to dedicate yourself to serving the Lord, and he won't forsake you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What you got, Tupac?
For our brother Holiness in the text says, family, I'm requesting that you join me in my prayer petition for my grandson, Juan Titus. He has 80 days left on his
they trying to keep him in, man.
That's
So
what they
yeah,
trying to do.
we putting them many prayers on his behalf, brother, because
Absolutely.
he truly needs protection under those circumstances, because that's a setup.
Right. And that's
They
why
setting him up because they hoping that somebody pounce on him, he'll defend himself and add more time on his sentence.
Right.
It's a setup, man. So we praying hard for him, brother.
Praying hard for him, but that's why we can't. You can't put yourself. We can't be putting ourselves in position, man, where we fall into the hands of these heathens, because they don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely, we'll definitely lift up prayers for your grandson. What's his name?
One,
Juan Hyatt is J-A-U-N-T-I-A-N-T. Juan Hyatt.
Giant.
Yeah.
All right, where you at, bro?
I'm in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, and the reading is at verse 9. And it reads, "And out of the ground made the Most High Yah to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil."
So you see this? So from Genesis 1:1 to Genesis 2:9, the Most High has set up everything for a man. You know what I'm saying? He made the grass, he made the trees, he made the birds, everything to serve man, the sun, the moon, the stars. It's all been set up to serve us and to make, life for us easy, simple. Adam and Eve was born into retirement.
Right.
That was born into retirement. But notice it said that in the midst of the garden was the tree of life, and it was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You know what I'm saying? So come on, let's keep going.
Verse 10.
And my bad, and when you get into like Ezekiel chapter 28, Ezekiel chapter 30, Isaiah chapter 14, you will see that this tree of the knowledge of good and evil, it was Satan. This was Satan, who was formerly known as Lucifer before he was thrown head first out of heaven. You know what I'm saying? And notice it called him the tree,
Right.
meaning he the source of the knowledge of good and evil, because he was the first individual to turn his back on the Most High.
And then he guarded the mercy seat.
He did what?
He was a cherubim over the mercy seat.
Absolutely. He was. It called him in Ezekiel 28 the "O thou covering cherub." So yeah, he was one of the angels that covered the mercy seat. You know what I'm saying? For him to turn his back and to sin against the Most High like that, this not just some regular angel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This was an angel that was full of wisdom and beauty. He conned a third of the angels. In Revelation 12, it said his tail drew a third part of the stars. He was so wise that he conned supernatural, that he deceived supernatural. I mean, think about that.
And also make a point, a note of a distinction. When we say Lucifer, that's in his angelic being. So
That's in his
righteousness. So always be careful on when you mentioning Lucifer versus Satan or that great dragon, because that's him in his fall, in his transgression. He's no longer Lucifer.
That's him.
So you can't attach that righteous name to that unrighteous act or deity.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. That's him when he was in his rightful estate. Before he left his first estate, it was Lucifer, the son of the morning. That's why when you get into the Isaiah 14, he was a high priest, so to speak, in the heavens. Man, he disseminated wisdom to all the trees that was in the garden in Ezekiel 31. A lot of trees took shade up under his branches, figuratively. You know what I'm saying? So he was disseminating wisdom to a lot of angelic beings in the heavens. But that's why the Most High told them, look, you can eat from every tree that's in the garden, but the tree that's in the midst, the knowledge of the tree of good and evil, Don't take counsel from them. Don't go and sit and take or get instruction from this tree. Every other tree you good. What you got, OG Jeremiah? How many trees were actually in the garden? I can't hear you. Speak up a little bit. I can't hear you. It don't say how many trees were in the garden. Yeah, I mean we know for a fact it was the tree life, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and it was other trees in there because Adam and Eve tried to hide amongst the trees. You know what I'm saying? So how many in there? It don't give an exact number. You know, but we know it was more than a few. So yeah, hope that answers your question. So yeah, where we at now?
Verse 10. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium, and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Most High Yah took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and keep it.
So understand, when he's saying he put him in a garden to dress it and to keep it, this is not a garden, so to speak, like, you know, you go outside and you do a little pruning here and you pick a couple, apples and a couple. No, this was a sanctuary. It was the holy of holies. You know, so when you start getting into like the Levitical priesthood, he gave the Levites the same command to dress and to keep the tabernacle.
That's right.
Meaning they had to do services. It was service that Adam had to do within the Garden of Eden.
Within paradise.
You know, but it was retirement type work. You know, he can do a little bit here and a little bit there, and then he can go back and kick back and chill. But it was all the services of God that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the priests, how they went in and they, they would, carry the tabernacle, or, attend to the table of the showbread and to the vessels and to the menorah and things like that. They were ministering inside the tabernacle. This the same type of dressing and keeping that Adam had to do, because Adam himself was a high priest on earth. He was a high priest on earth after the order of Melchizedek. So when you understand that, and then you start understanding that Genesis chapter 5 is the Melchizedek priestly line. It goes from Adam. Adam passed it from him. It went from Adam to Seth, from Seth to his sons on down the line. You know what I'm saying? So that's the dressing and the keeping that he was doing in the garden. It was ministering as a priest. Oh, come on, let's keep going.
Verse 16. And the Most High Yah commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it.
Right.
For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Absolutely, thou shalt surely die. And understand, see, it was angels. Like, that's why when you get into like the design of the tabernacle and the design of the temple, it was cherubims everywhere, because it was what's in the heavens. You know what I'm saying? When you get into the Revelation chapter 21, 22, Revelation chapter 8, 5 and stuff like that, you see cherubims all around the throne of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we seeing in the garden. We seeing a host of angels that's in the garden, and he's saying you can go and you can fellowship with each one of these angels that's in the garden, but the one that's in the midst of the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, don't do it. Like they say in Hosea chapter 13 and 10, he ate of the fruit of lies. He ate of the fruit of lies. You know what I'm saying? So the question might be asked, well, if sin and unrighteousness can't dwell in the midst of God, then what was Satan doing there? It's just like with Job, when he went to Job. I mean, when Satan appeared before the Most High in the congregation of the angels or the sons of men, he came there to ask the Most High about Job, or seeking. He going to and fro between the heaven and the earth, seeking whom he can devour. Looking for somebody that he can take down.
He can still
and
travel.
turn away.
He can still travel to and fro.
But he only have limited access.
Right. He can't go to the 10th heaven.
Absolutely.
He can't go to the throne of Elohim.
Yep.
Like he once could and petition at his throne.
Look, he couldn't
no
even go
longer
that
do
high. He couldn't even go that high. Because look, when he fell, he said, I'm going to go up there.
Yeah, he wanted to go,
it was still limited.
Yeah, he always had a limited access. No one could be except for Christ. That's why it says no one has ascended up to the heavens, and no one except the same who's come down. Only Christ can sit at the right hand of the Most High. He's the only one that has the power to ascend that high. Everything else is underneath him. Otherwise, you'll have what Satan did. Tried to pull a coup, a spiritual coup. Coup d'etat.
Right. So understand, when he's saying, in that day you shall surely die, understand, we talking about a day to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because you get some people that get tripped up on it and be like, see, he didn't die in that day. Well, he surely did, because he never lived to be 1,000 years, because Psalms 90 and 4, 2 Peter 3 and 8 say 1,000 years to us is just one day to the Most High, and one day to the Most High is 1,000 years to us. So no one has ever lived 1,000 years in the sight of the Most High. The oldest man to ever live was Methuselah. He was 965 years old, and he died. But no one has ever lived 1,000 years or a day in the sight of the Most High, going to show you that his word don't come back void.
And even though Enoch and Elijah are translated, the number of their days stopped when they were translated. So they're still not living to 1,000 years, even though they're still not existing on this earth right now, and they have to come back to taste death, because Hebrews 9:27 says it's appointed to every man to die once and then the judgment. So they're coming back as the two witnesses. However, their time on earth, their aging of earth has stopped at the time that they were translated. So their age is not being counted in the heavens.
Right, absolutely. All right, let's keep going, bro.
Verse 18. And the Most High Yah said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him.
Right.
And out of the ground the Most High Yah formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet from him. And the Most High Yah caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Most High Yah had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
Right.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
All right.
And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
Absolutely. And this ain't no physical nakedness.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying? This just meaning they were innocent. They were free of sin up until this point, and they had nothing to be ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? So like when you get into Exodus chapter 32, it says after Aaron made that golden calf for the children of Israel and they bowed down and worshipped it. It said you made them naked. You know, he gave them something to be ashamed of because they bowed down and worshipped another god. You know, which is highly unpleasing to the Most High. So in doing that, you know, he called sin. And look, and it was right after salvation. Right after they've been washed clean, now they have a blemish. So Adam and Eve was when we read about them white robes, Adam and Eve had white robes on, meaning they was without spot and without wrinkle. But then after they committed the sin, up here consciously, they knew they did wrong. Their conscience was no longer free. I mean, their consciousness was no longer without spot or without wrinkle, because now they know what they did wrong. They went against and transgressed the commandment of the Most High, and their innocence immediately left them. Consciously
bear witness against it.
Yeah.
So when he breathed into a man and he became a living soul, he breathed the law, statutes, and judgments into a man's consciousness.
Right. And not only that, but he said, I made man in my image.
Right.
Who's ever seen the Most High to say what he looks like, or he has a image from that perspective? So essentially what he's saying, just like the Messiah, you seen me, you seen the Father. Well, he wasn't saying that a father looked like a man. He was just saying the image of the Most High is pure righteousness. Pure righteousness. That's what he made Adam. That's the image that he made Adam in. Adam was formed in pure righteousness. He was all light, no darkness. But when he sinned, darkness entered into him. Darkness entered into him, and he was no longer without spot or without wrinkle. And he knew it. And he had a guilty conscience. It's like we say all the time, when you come home from work and your dog done did something he know he ain't supposed to be doing, what's the first thing he do? He run and hide.
Yeah.
Children do the same thing too. I know we used to do it all the time.
Get low.
I remember we had just painted, my mom and them just had painted the wall one time. And I went right behind them and I wrote my ABCs on the wall. Boy, hey, man, she seen it. No, I think it was in crayon. But nonetheless, man, shoot, I was in some serious trouble, man. She was like, I'm going to tell your uncle. And he came over there and I hid in the drive for an hour. I hid in the drive. Well, I knew I was in trouble. But that's what we saying, though, man. Your consciousness will bear witness to you. Your consciousness will eat you up. And that's what it was doing to them. It ate them up. To the point to where when they heard the Most High walking in the garden, man, they had no choice but to hide themselves because they couldn't confront him with them. That right, they couldn't face him. They couldn't face him.
Shame. Yeah.
Well, come on, let's keep going. Let's get into it.
Chapter 3, in verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Most High Yah had made. Mm-hmm. And he said unto the woman, Yeah, hath Yah said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Now notice that it said that this serpent was more subtle, meaning he was crafty in his understanding. He understood both sides of the law. He understood it from a righteous perspective because he was created righteous.
Right.
And then he understood it from a wicked perspective because he knew what it meant to break God's law, to turn your back on God. And see, and that's what it talk about in Ezekiel 28. Pride was found in him. And Sirach, what is that, Sirach 10?
Yes,
it tell you that pride is when one departs from his maker. See, that's what he did. He departed from the Most High. He turned his back on the Most High and he started to transgress because instead of doing like the Messiah and said, I come to do the will of my Father, Satan said, I'm going to do my own will. And my will is to place my throne above your throne. My will is to be like the Most High. That's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said his will is. And that's why we say he has no imagination of his own, because everything that he does is a direct setup of what the Most High do. It's a direct setup of what the Most High do. The Most High do this, Satan doing that too.
And see, he wanted Christ to bow to him in Matthew 4. He didn't want to be Christ. He wanted to be Christ's head.
Yeah. Showing you that he wasn't going for the Messiah.
He
He
wasn't
was
taking
like, no,
second.
I'm trying to go above
seat.
you. I'm trying to go above you, and if I can get him to bow down to me, then it's over for everybody. What you got, Iman?
Yeah. But I mean, you look at how mankind will worship the creation more than the Creator. We will settle for that which is less than being committed to that which we are connected to, which is the greatest. Mm-hmm. We'd rather, look at how many of our people would rather be Gentiles as opposed to Israel.
Yeah. But that just show you how far we didn't been beat down. You know what I'm saying? You didn't been beat down so much that you can't believe God would choose
Right.
you. You know what I'm saying? They didn't your self-esteem and your love of yourself has been beat down so much that somebody come and tell you God's chosen people, and you be like, get out of there. I'm a Gentile. You know what I'm saying? Just to write an individual off like that, you know what I'm saying? It just shows you that, you know, we don't really believe that we are great people like that. Or we have the potential to be great if we, you know what I'm saying, that the Most High seen something in us,
Right.
and that He chose us to be a kingdom of priests, you know, and a holy nation unto Himself. And then that speaks to our bad behavior. You know what I'm saying? We see the condition in which we in and how we behave in the streets. You know, the young men and the young women.
You couldn't believe what I said.
Yeah, you couldn't believe it yourself. You look at it, and I mean, look. Not only is it are we an astonishment to the nations, man? We an astonishment to ourselves.
Yep.
We see some things, and you be like, man, no, he didn't just do that, or no, she didn't just do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, I was watching a video the other day, and a couple young guys was over here on Natural Bridge on the bus. A guy had an automatic, one of the young guys had an automatic weapon in his hand, and telling the other young boy, get off the bus, on my grandma, if you don't get off this bus, I'ma shoot you. Man, he got off the bus, man. As soon as he got off the bus, man, he pistol whipped the dude, took off his thing, man, and you know what I'm saying? Then the video went off, but it's an astonishment. You seeing that and you be like, man, these young guys are out of control. They are out of control. What you got, Sister Karen? These people what? Purge for a lack of knowledge.
Yeah,
And
because
not
we refuse it.
Yeah, you refuse
We
it.
reject it. It ain't just because we don't have it. We get it and reject it and say, I don't want that.
Right.
I want to be like the heathen. I want to be like the other nations. I mean, you think about the children that come from good family structures.
Right.
And they see these little ragamuffins running amok, and they think that's freedom. They think that's cool.
Right.
And don't understand that that's no guidance. It's like, you know, my son come from a good structure, mama and father. I was the same way. Had mother and father, good family structure, the whole nine. I was addicted to the bull crap in the streets. It didn't have nothing to do with my upbringing. It had to do with my bad decision making and what I liked being around. Until I bumped my head enough times and almost died enough times that I realized this ain't the life I want. But not everybody gets those chances. Some are gone as soon as they step off the block, off the porch.
Yeah.
They meet their demise. I'm just thankful that the Most High shined His grace upon me that I was able to be a knucklehead so long and finally wake up and see.
But look, that's why he said, man, my people are wise to do evil, but to do good, man, we ain't got a clue.
Have no knowledge,
You ain't
man.
got a clue on how to do good. And look, and when they do good, guess what they doing? They recording. They letting their left hand know what their right hand doing. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see them, yeah, I'm coming out here to feed the homeless. I got 2 double cheeseburgers for them, and I got $5.
But when the camera
You know, but
is
they
off,
recording.
but when
You
the
know what I'm
camera
saying?
is off, They committing all kind of crimes and
wickedness.
degradation against their
But
own
look, but they
community.
doing that on camera too, Elisha.
Yeah.
They doing that on camera too.
Yeah, they are.
They got a whore's forehead. That's why, look, it's hard for us to believe sometimes that we the children of Israel. You be like, boy, man, no, we not. No, we not the light bearers.
We wag our own heads. And
Right, wag our own heads. You know, yeah. But I mean, then when you start reading the scriptures, man, and you see what what the Israelites was doing, you be like, yeah, I can see us being them people, man. We stiff necked, as stick necked
That's easy for you to say.
and rebellious, stiff necked and rebellious. You know what I'm saying? That's been the characteristic trait of our nation since we came into existence.
Yeah.
Well, come on, let's keep going, y'all.
Back in the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Right.
And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For Yah doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eye.
It was what?
It was pleasant to the eye.
Right.
And the tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her.
So you see why it called the serpent subtle? Why I called him subtle, man? Because he used the wisdom and the understanding that he had to confuse her mind.
Right.
To confuse it. Nah, what did God tell you? And notice, and look how he asks, he always opened up with a question. It's the same way that he came to the Messiah. If you be the Son of God, then, hey, turn these,
Right,
turn this stone into, you know what I'm saying? Tempting them.
Yeah.
Just tempting them. And knowing that he hadn't ate for 40 days and for 40 nights. But not understanding, man, you dealing with the power of the Most High.
That's right.
You dealing
His
with the Son of the Most High.
His righteousness.
Pure righteousness.
His
His
glory.
image. It said his expressed image.
Yes, sir.
Meaning he looked just like the Most High. Like literally, when you see him, you see the Father.
That's right.
Like you like, boy, you look just like your daddy. Like you ain't even, man, sometimes when people look just like their daddy, man, you just be like, man, are you such and such son? That's how that was with the Messiah, man. You got to be the Most High son, because you look just like him.
Except for with the
That-
knucklehead.
Yeah, that's what people be saying. But look, what he did right here, it was low down and it was dirty, because he deceived. It was like deceiving children in their innocence. Like what he did was like trying to take candy from a baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when he came in and he slid up on her, and he say, did God tell you you can't eat of all the trees in the garden? In the garden? And look, and she repeated it back to him. She told him what God said. But him, and look, and notice how she seen him. She seen him like he was in Ezekiel the 28th chapter with the bling bling on, and she seen him how he was with, he was real good at singing, and he had a lot of wisdom, so he knew how to step to it.
He came like an angel of
Yeah,
light.
he came like an angel of light.
He masqueraded as
An angel of light.
So,
Because if he came to it like he was,
She
like when
wouldn't
you
have
get
never
into the
talked to her.
missing books of Adam and Eve, he came to Adam the same way. He dressed himself up, made himself look beautiful.
but he
And-
wouldn't come into the cave.
Right. So what the Messiah had to do is the Messiah had to snatch the disguise off of him. And when he seen him, it frightened Adam so much that Adam ran the other way and was like, shoot, take it away, man, it's that scary. It was like, he just snatched the mask off of him. Like snatching the mask off of Michael Myers or something, you see his ugly face. That's what he's saying.
Freddy
You know what I'm
Krueger.
saying? But right, Freddy Krueger. Yeah, but that's what she's saying. She's seeing this individual, you know what I'm saying, that's radiant, that's full of wisdom, that you know what I'm saying, that who can sing, and who called the third of the angels. with the wisdom that he had, and he asked her a simple question. She repeated it to him. She repeated exactly what the Most High said, but somehow, some way, he made her misunderstand what she was saying, or he made her distrust in the Most High.
Just
Like the Most High didn't have her best interest at heart, because after he said like, that ain't what he mean. He know in the day that you that you
gonna
eat
be
of the
like
tree
a god.
that you not gonna die.
Right.
But you would be like God, knowing good from evil. Now he told a half truth,
Right.
but half the truth is a whole lie. So he really just lied to flat out, because he knew you would be like God, because the Most High did say, all man has become like one of us,
Right.
knowing good and evil.
Yep.
But you gonna die.
But
You
notice-
gonna die. So he made her distrust what the Most High had said, and he played to her desire.
Love
It's just
down.
like when you tell a kid, look, don't touch something. Don't touch fire, it's hot. But then they see it, man, and their eyes get bugged. And only thing they hear is don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. You done touched it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she did, man. Her eyes got bucked, and she seen it, and she started desiring it. She started wanting it. She walking past the tree now, and she just looking at it like, man, I should take a bite.
Right.
Because all
I
he
should
had
take a
to
bite.
do was cast a little bit of doubt.
Look, a little leaven,
Leaven
the whole lump.
Just like he said, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, which is the smallest seed but yields much harvest, then a little doubt does the same.
Absolutely.
It destroys your faith and your confidence in Elohim. So that's all he has to do, is create just a little doubt.
Right.
A little doubt. If you read Hebrews 2 and 3, it says they could not enter into his eternal
Kingdom,
rest
yeah.
because of unbelief.
Belief, yeah.
A little doubt destroys everything you work hard for.
Absolutely.
And that's all he has to do, is create doubt in you. And there you go, running off. But that's what religion does. Religion appears righteous as the word of God. It appears to be so, but it creates doubt. And it drives you away from salvation.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't teach you judgment, laws, statutes, and judgments.
Yeah.
It tells you do what you want. God loves you anyway,
Yeah.
and there's no judgment.
But see, the God that they talking about is the devil, because he tell you can do what you want, and I'ma still love you.
Right.
See, look, and it's not just religion; it's these Hebrew camps too. Because what the
Yeah.
goal is to get you to distrust what the Most High done told you.
Right. Believe in me.
Yeah, to believe in you. The
so
Most High
that's
told
why-
you, cursed be the man that trusted the man and make it man his own.
On
See,
Jeremiah 17:5.
he told us to count every man a liar.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Count every man a liar.
Don't
But see,
trust
when
no
you
man.
start setting up these camps and it's one man that's the head of the camp and that everybody go to for answers,
That's
and they
like the
see
church
God,
of the Nicolaitans.
yeah, the Nicolaitans. Now he telling you don't question me.
Right.
You do what I say. You get up at 2 in the morning and I tell you to come to an undisclosed location and you give me your phone and you get on the bus.
No.
And don't ask no questions.
Don't ask.
Don't
no
ask.
questions.
Right.
Just give me the money.
Right. So this the type of stuff that we dealing with, because see, we supposed to be putting our trust and our faith in the Most High.
That's right.
Not in the man.
Not
See,
in
the
man.
scriptures tell you to study to show yourself approved.
But it says try the
Unto God,
spirit.
not unto man.
Unto God.
And do
Unto
what?
God.
But it says try the spirit of every man.
And look, we was just talking about this last night on the class, trying the spirit.
And see, that's what we forget to do. We hear God, Most High,
Yeah.
Yah, Shalom,
Right.
fringes. We see these key elements or symbols and we think, oh, that's a brother.
Yeah.
But you still got to try the spirit.
There you go.
Got to try the spirit. And look, and that's
Judas Iscariot was a Israelite.
look, and you got to try the spirit, because he say, if any man or angelic being come to you preaching any other gospel other
Said
than
bit
what
of no
we
gospel.
didn't taught you, then count him a curse. See, this is what Eve didn't do. She didn't try the spirit. She repeated the gospel, but then she let her desires take over. She let her fleshly thoughts take over, and to want something that was forbidden. want something that was forbidden. What you got, sis? Right. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, again, don't add to or take away from. You know what I'm saying? When you start adding to and taking away from the word of God, he say, man, I'm gonna add plagues to you that's not only written in this book, but that's not written in this book as well. I'm gonna add some plagues to you. So you better not be adding to and taking away from. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep going, y'all.
Finish off that verse 6. And gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open.
And the what?
The eyes of them both were open.
So look, come on.
And they knew that they were naked.
So now you telling me, you know what I'm saying, they didn't know that they was naked at first? Was they just walking around blind?
Genio.
Well, right, was they just walking around blind and, you know what I'm saying, before they ate of the tree, they just, you know, just moving around, feeling like they Ray Charles or something?
No.
And then when they ate of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and
opened
evil,
up their eyes. Whoa,
their
whoa.
eyes was open and he was like,
Ooh, that's what
I'm
you look
naked. Right, right. I'm like, ooh, I'm naked. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, when he say their eyes were open, at this point, their consciousness was open to wickedness.
The pineal gland.
That's why the Messiah said, if your eye be single, your whole body shall be full of light. But if your eye be darkness, how great is that darkness? This talking about the eye of your mind. Look, Solomon talk about the same thing, the eye of the mind. You know what I'm saying? This is what wisdom's supposed to dwell in. It's supposed to be what connects you to the Most High. That's what connects you. You know what I'm saying? So they open their eyes in wickedness. And when it said when their eyes opened, immediately they knew that they were naked. Meaning they knew
they transgressed.
They transgressed. At that point they knew virtue had left them. Righteousness had left them.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? You know how it is when you do something you ain't knowing you're supposed to do, man. Your consciousness will convict you all day. Like, I knew I shouldn't have did that.
Like if you
Why did I do that?
eat some spaghetti late at night and sleep on it, and you get that heartburn and that acid reflux,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
you sitting in the bed like, oh God, oh, I need some baking soda water. You know you tripped.
Look at you, mom. Like, no, baking soda water won't do it for you. So yeah, what you got to, Bob?
She trucking in the chat says, hasn't prepared to get back into a walk full force. Because I had recent trauma that caused me to fall off track. Created doubt in me, asking the Most High to forgive me.
Hey, just
Shake
do
your
it.
dust off and get back
Yeah,
up, sis.
just do
Get back
it.
on that bike, get to rolling.
Yeah, just
Hey,
do it.
face the east. Face the east.
Yeah,
Send up prayers and supplications. We'll do that on our behalf, but you have to do it.
yeah, shoot.
And you have to be true in it. Because asking him anything amiss, it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
So
like-
if you truly truthful about getting back on your walk, you know what you need to do, sister.
Yeah.
You know, just get to it. No excuses. But don't wait, because no time is promised to no man. So just like you know what you need to do, get on it ASAP.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it said in the book of Baruch, like it was your heart to turn away. What's that script too, Bob? Yeah, Baruch. Like as it was in your heart to turn away from the Most High,
He said turn
turn
back
back
unto him 10 times more.
Turn back to him 10 times more. You know, and
Because understand this, sister, we only have one help in this life and the life to come, and that's Elohim. Without him, there is nothing good coming. There is nothing good possible. Tribulation is guaranteed, but faith will pull you through it.
right. So this Baruch chapter 4, verse 28. It says, "For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more." You know, so that's just all it is. You know, you just gotta turn to him, and you know, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. We ain't gotta explain that to you. You know, because you already know what's going on. So you know the fix. You know what I'm saying? But we'll definitely pray for you though.
Oh,
but
sure.
like
For sure.
Brother Elisha just said, you got to do the work. You know what I'm
gotta
saying?
put in the
Because we
work,
can't do
sister.
that for you.
We can lead you to the water. We can't make you drink it.
Right. And like he said, man, we got to show ourselves approved unto God, a workman.
Yes,
with.
sir. Need not be ashamed.
So yeah. So all right. Was that it? Oh no. Okay. Cool. Let's get back to it.
We're back in the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and verse 7.
Right. And notice, y'all, this all taking place in the Garden of Eden, the most holiest place that's on planet Earth. When we get into these revelations, you'll actually get a even greater understanding on what the Garden of Eden was. It was like an umbilical cord. That's why in the book of the book of Jubilees, chapter 8, it say that that Jerusalem is the navel of the earth. It's the middle. It's what connects the heavens and the earth. Is where he set the Garden of Eden.
It's the source of information.
Yeah, it's the source of information. It's just like an umbilical cord. Like the umbilical cord, it nourishes the baby through the umbilical cord from the connection between the mama and the baby.
Right.
That's how the baby get the proper nutrients that it needs.
And those 4 rivers that come from it waters the whole earth with information and resources.
Absolutely. And look, and when you understand, because when you get into Ezekiel 2, it talk about how when it's described in Satan, it said rivers flowed forth from him. You know what I'm saying? The same way it flowed forth from the Garden of Eden. You know what I'm saying? Just letting you know that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High flow forth from Jerusalem to the rest of the world. It'll nourish the rest of the world, and it'll help them grow in truth and in knowledge of the Most High.
So in like manner, that's why the Feast of Tabernacles, Zechariah 14, the nations will come up to the borders to get their instructions and their law, statutes, and judgment and understanding of Elohim and how to worship from Jerusalem. Because that's the source of life.
Absolutely. All right, what we at?
Verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together.
They did what?
Sewed fig leaves together. And made themselves aprons.
Right.
And they heard the voice of the Most High Yah walking in the garden.
They heard the voice of what?
Of the Most High Yah walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Most High Yah amongst the trees of the garden.
So you see that? So now they hiding amongst the angels. Because in their mind, as soon as the Most High come into the garden, and they know that he's in the garden amongst them at this point, look, their consciousness tell them go and hide. You know what I'm saying? Because they know at this point.
Wrong.
And look, and what the scripts say, you know what I'm saying? If your conscience condemn you, the Most High is greater than your consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, if you condemning yourself, what you think the Most High gonna do? If you know you doing wrong, and you know it's wrong,
He know your thoughts.
look, and they tried to cover it up. They tried to cover it up. Look, instead of just going in the meeting and being like, you know, like David did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When David said, oh, Lord, I've been transgressed. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, crap, the man is me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Adam, they tried to go and hide behind the angels like they was going to do something. Like when the kid do something wrong and their mama and their parents get home, they try and go hide behind their granny.
And then
Like
blame
she
it
ain't
on
finna
somebody
save
else.
you. She ain't finna save you. You know what I'm saying? But then not only that, they tried to cover themselves with another covering.
Right.
With the fig leaf.
Right.
But come on.
Verse 9. And the Most High Yah called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked?
So now that's the question. Who told you you was naked? You know what I'm saying? And look, and that's the thing about the Most High. The Most High, he'll ask you a question and he already know the answer to it. Like he asked Cain, where's your brother Abel? Abel, man, I ain't my brother's keeper, man. What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't in my back pocket.
But he testing
You
your
know what I'm
conscience.
saying?
He testing your conscience.
He testing it. He just wanted to see, just like he threw it at David.
Because
You
he
know?
give us free will, he's going to test that free will
Yeah.
that he placed on you.
Cause he don't
I'm
want
gonna
no
see
robots.
if you gonna obey or you gonna lie. You gonna do the work of me or the other.
Verse 11 from the top. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
Absolutely.
And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me,
So now he's
she
starting.
gave me of the tree and I did eat.
Right. So now he's starting to. So now he's shifting the blame.
Right.
Instead of owning up to it and taking his part in the crime, he want to shift the blame. And look, he really pointing the finger at the Most High. He said, it was the woman that you gave me.
Right. This on you.
Yeah, this your fault.
You gave me this one.
You gave me her.
That's her.
Now, if I would
You
have made
made
my
her.
own woman, she wouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now he said, it's the woman that you gave me. But look, when you get into when you get into the book of Enoch, though, it lets you know that she was created to see would he serve his flesh or would he serve the Most High.
That's right.
And he served his flesh. He served his flesh. Well, come on.
Verse 13. And the Most High Yah said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
So she's saying, man, he tricked me. You know, right, now she passing the ball. Now she just saying like, hey, look, it was his fault. So everybody pointing a finger. You know, Adam pointing at her, she pointing at the serpent. And the serpent was like, I told you.
Well, you know,
I told you they wasn't gonna serve you.
that's funny. I had another shirt made, and on that shirt, I was going to wear it today, and it says, be accountable for your own actions.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they sure passing the buck here, ain't they?
But they sure leave. But now,
Yeah.
but like Job said it, man, if I hear my sin, if I hear my transgression
Like
in my
Adam.
heart like Adam,
Uh-huh.
like no, like you know what I'm saying. You don't. That's not how the Most High operate, because the scriptures tell you, if you confess your sin, He'll willingly forgive you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you do it from a true and unrepentant heart, and repentive
Right.
heart, then man, the Most High will forgive you.
But
You know what I'm
have
saying?
to
And
first
He'll have
acknowledge.
mercy.
You gotta first acknowledge.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, they would have still been removed from the. They would still gonna.
Yeah, they
you know,
still had to go,
Yeah, they still.
but-
You still gotta go.
However,
you got to go. You know what I'm saying? But I got it set up to where y'all can come back though. I already got the fix. Set up. You know what I'm saying? So you just leave, and then I'll bring you back. That's why the beginning is. The end is the beginning, and the beginning is the end. The Garden of Eden is New Jerusalem, and New Jerusalem is the Garden of Eden. It just had to be taken back up into the heaven. So when you get into the book of Enoch, it tell you it's in the third level of heaven.
Yeah.
It's what the Garden of Eden is, the third level of heaven, paradise. Paul in the book of in 1 Corinthians 12 said, I went to paradise. You know what I'm saying? I went up there, but I can't brag on it though. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense now when he said, I seen a new heaven and a new earth, and I seen the holy city coming out of heaven like a bride adorned for her husband. So it's letting you know that it's coming back to the earth, but it had to be taken up to be cleaned and washed,
Right.
washed clean. You know, because sin had taken place in it. And look, and the only reason Satan is
He carries the
allowed there
ground
because
up,
he's
too.
the accuser. He's the accuser. So he's like the prosecuting attorney. You know, he could come into the presence of the Most High for a while, but he can't dwell there.
no,
He can't dwell there. You got to get going.
he's been cast out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he been
He
cast
lost
out.
his first estate.
Lost it. So let's keep going.
Verse 14. And the Most High Yah said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
So this was the Most High basically telling man, you a low life.
Right.
For doing what you doing to them, just did to them, you a low life. I can understand, I get you just kind of third a supernatural, but these like shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just went and you just beat up on some kids, and you running around doing victory laps like, yeah, I'm the champion. You know what I'm saying? You just did that to some kids. So you know what? For that, you know what I'm saying? You gonna crawl on your belly for the rest of your life.
Just lower than the footprint.
Yeah, you lower than the footprint. You know what I'm saying? Because of what he did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You con kids in their innocence. That's like a man. That's like a pedophile.
Boy.
You know, going after a child.
Or a
Innocence.
child with Down syndrome
It's wrong.
or something.
Man,
Innocence.
look. That's, I mean, man.
I mean, just
look,
tampering with
But that's why he
innocence.
say, man, do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you offend one of these little ones, man,
That's
it's
what-
better
yeah.
that you know,
Had not
wrap
been
a
born.
millstone around your neck and throw it. Look, you better
Drown
off
at this bottom
like
of the
that.
sea.
You have a better chance like that. But that's why it's so serious, man. Even if you go to the penitentiary and they hear you done did something to a kid,
Yeah.
amongst criminals,
Yeah. There's
they
no
gonna
harm.
handle you.
Yeah, they gonna handle you, boy.
Because man, that's the one thing you don't play is innocence. That's innocent. That's why he say this what the kingdom of heaven is like. It's like these little children. You know what I'm saying? And if you get beside yourself and you offend one of these little ones, yeah, you might well go on ahead and kill yourself. That's what he's saying, and that's what it was with Satan. He offended some little ones. So come on, let's keep going.
Verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
So notice, look, it said her seed. You know, most Negroes that believe in Joseph is the father don't understand what this talking about right here. It said that the woman has a seed. You run this with Revelation chapter 12, it talk about her seed again, being the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? So this was the plan of salvation, to bring humanity as a whole, both Jew and Gentile, back into the fold, back into how it was originally supposed to be, where we all dwell with God as a nation of people, as the sons of Adam. You know what I'm saying? So salvation is for the Jew just as well. I mean, it's for the Jew just as well as it is for the Gentile. You know, it's an order to it, but nonetheless, Jews can enter into the kingdom.
He created them too.
Right,
So
absolutely.
why wouldn't he have salvation for all his creation?
Absolutely.
I mean, come on now. That's that race doctrine. That's that westernized race doctrine that you utilize in black nationalist movement, like the Black Panthers.
Right. Absolutely. So come on.
But even
let's-
the Black Panthers,
Okay.
you know, even they had a national identity, but they reached out to all nations because they had the White Panthers, they had the Brown Panthers, the Hispanics, they had Asians who joined the ranks. So, contrary to popular belief, they reached out to all suffering people. They just did it through the perspective of a black nationalist movement. But they reached across the board to other nationalities to join the movement. I ain't hear you. Was that the Black Coalition? That's the Black Panthers. They were they actually, like Fred Hampton, who was really the one who was more the leader of that type of movement, reaching out to all poor people of all nationalities to join the fight against the proletariat government. You know, so that's what that was about. They just formed, it was nationally formed as a black nationalist movement. However, they started reaching out to people of all nationalities who were fighting against the same oppression. So the poor whites, the Asian community, the Hispanic communities, and all the such, who were all being targeted by the government. And so what they did was, one of the things Fred Hampton was instrumental in is getting these people of these various nationalities to understand that we were in the same fight together, fighting oppression by the government. Because the government don't see color, it actually just see poor and rich. But they utilize color as their propaganda machine.
To divide and conquer.
Yeah.
All right, so where we at?
Verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return into the ground, for out of it was thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
Now I want you to notice that even though everybody was pointing at the other person, Adam pointed to Eve, Eve pointed to the serpent, the Most High said, I got something for all of y'all. Everybody that had part in the crime got a punishment, and got a just punishment. Adam, this was your part. I told you not to eat of the tree of the knowledge of the good and evil. You were supposed to tell her, since you listened to your wife, this your punishment. Eve, this your punishment, since you wanted to listen to the serpent. And look, this your punishment. But she already had a punishment coming, so now he doing a double life sentence.
Right. Verse 20. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living.
Right.
Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Most High Yah make coats of skin.
So now he had to take the fig leaf off of them, and he had to put skin. He had to clothe them in another type of clothing that was outside of the righteous clothing that they had in the beginning. Come on.
And clothed them. And the Most High Yah said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil.
So you see that? So Satan wasn't entirely fibbing. You know what I'm saying? He just mixed a little bit of truth with a little bit of truth with a whole lot of lie. And he said, shoot, look, he just know that you will become like one of us. And God just said, look, now he's become like one of us, knowing good and evil.
Right.
Come on.
And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever.
And live where?
Forever. Therefore, the Most High Yah sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken.
Right.
So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
So you see that? So the Most High had to drive them out, chase them out of the Garden of Eden.
Right.
And then he put a cherub at the entrance of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way in which you go in and you go out. You go in and you
one
go
way
out.
in and one way out.
In the east entrance. That's what you will see in the book of Ezekiel. You will see in Ezekiel when he had the whole setup, it was an east gate, it was a north, a south, and it was a east, a west, a north, and a south gate. But the Most High always went through the east gate. He always went through the east gate, and that's where he drove them out from, the east gate. And like Elisha was saying earlier, drove them further away from perfection. You know what I'm saying? So now with that being said, we're going to hold there. We're going to get Revelation chapter 20, 21, and 22.
And notice also where he said he's placed a cherubim at the beginning, at the entrance, with a flaming sword that turned every which way. What's the flaming sword? Hebrews 4:12. The word of God is a flaming two-edged sword. So in order to get back into paradise, there's steps, there's instructions to get back in. You have to deal with the word, you have to deal with the cherubim, the protective cherubim, to get back in. Christ says, I'm the one way. I am the door. There's only one way back into paradise.
Absolutely.
And he's called the Word.
What you got over there, sister? So what she was just saying, y'all, was, hey, you got to get the word on the inside.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? So you just can't be a hearer of the word only.
A
You
doer.
got to be an active doer. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like an individual who beholds their natural face in the mirror, but soon as you leave from in front of the mirror, you
Forget
forget
what man you are.
what type of man you are.
Right.
You know, the word has to get on the inside, and that's what the new covenant is about.
And it has to be constant.
Constant.
And it has to be instant, in season and out of season.
That's why he
it's
say
a
Apt to
lifestyle.
teach
Yeah.
and apt to answer.
Yeah.
Willing to answer.
What you got, Tupac?
Psalms 51 and 6.
Come on with it.
Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward part.
Where he desires truth,
In the inward part.
talking about in the man. You know, in your consciousness.
That's right.
That's where it's supposed to be at, and that's why the Messiah say, if your eye be single, if your eye, if the eye of your mind is completely engulfed in the word of the Most High, to where you meditating on His word, like He say, day and night, you shall be like the tree that's planted by the river of water,
It should never fail.
who leaf shall not
Not
wither.
fade or wither.
Whatsoever you does shall
You're
prosper.
going to be good. I mean, you're going to go through tribulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's set for man.
Right.
But that's being tried in the fire of affliction. That's gold. Being tried in the furnace of affliction.
Right.
You have to go through something to be proven. If you just say, it's like a man telling you, man, I'm real, dog.
Yeah.
I'm real.
Right.
I'm real.
Why you gotta tell
If
you?
you gotta tell me
Right.
you real, you ain't real.
They say when you come to serve the Lord,
If you can't show it,
prepare
if it ain't in your walk,
yourself first.
it ain't in you.
That's right.
Say that again, bro.
Say when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be some.
So I mean,
And notice he said your soul,
Yeah.
not your flesh. Because see, Satan will come to you when you sleep and tempt you in your soul. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference. You can't prepare your flesh for temptation,
Right.
because that ain't what Satan wants, because he know that's marked for death already. It's your soul that he after. That's why in Matthew chapter 10, he say, don't fear him that could kill the body
Right.
and can't kill the soul. But fear him who can kill both body and soul
and
in
everlasting
hell fire. And hell fire, which is the lake of fire.
where
That's who
burn-
you should fear.
worm dieth
Not.
not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why he's saying you prepare your soul for temptation. It's got to be, the word of God got to be, it has to be embedded there. It has to be embedded. It has to be impressed, an impression
Right.
made on your heart and your mind, to where what he calls the circumcision of the heart.
Right.
Your heart has to be circumcised. And when you understand what circumcision is when you cut off the fleshly part. Whether it's physical or whether it's spiritual, it's cutting off the fleshly part. So when you understand it from the perspective of Abraham in Genesis, the 17th chapter, he just cut off the excess part. But then the excess flesh. Genesis 17. But then you got another circumcision of the mind, where he mentioned it to Moses in I believe it was Deuteronomy 10, Jeremiah 4:4. He said, you know what I'm saying, circumcise the foreskin
of your heart.
The foreskin of your heart. The foreskin is the extra flesh. So he's telling you have to cut off the fleshly part of your mind. So when you get into Galatians chapter 5, it talk about the works of the flesh and the fruits of the spirit. You have to cut the works of the flesh off, because he said this is what will keep you from getting into the kingdom of heaven.
He say flee
Because-
lust. How do
yeah.
you flee lust?
In your mind.
Huh? You say go to China.
Go to China. Yeah, okay. It's still gonna be there.
There's more lust there. Because they're lust
They got
country,
them robots,
boy.
boy.
Shit,
Man,
they full of
shoot.
lust over there. You
Boy,
just
they-
running into destruction.
I was just playing that.
Boy.
Yeah. No,
I'm
you
talking
can't-
about,
you gotta
man,
fix
look,
it.
they got
Because
that
lust
butt naked
is a-
lascivious.
Lust is an internal attribute of emotion. That's something that's on the inside. So in order to fix that or flee from that, you have to circumcise the heart. You have to circumcise your conscience. That's what the new covenant is that no longer will the law, statutes, and judgments be written upon a wall or tables of stone, but they should be written upon thy heart and thy conscience state.
What you got,
Tupac?
Tupac?
Romans chapter 2, verse 28. For he is not a Jew which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision which is outwardly in the flesh.
In the what?
Outwardly in the flesh.
So he's telling you that's not the real circumcision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was a form of circumcision, but it was just to let you know it was just a sign of Abraham's righteousness, because Abraham was found righteous before he got circumcised.
Right. Called a friend of
Called a friend of the Most High, but he was uncircumcised, and the Most High counted his faith as righteousness, and then as a sign of that righteousness, he gave him the circumcision and told everybody thus forth, y'all be circumcised. But look, Abraham was circumcised up here long before he was ever circumcised in the private members.
That's right.
Come on, what else you got?
Verse 29, it says, but he is not a Jew which is one, but he is a Jew which is one inwardly. And circumcision is that of the heart, and in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God.
Right, because see, when you doing everything by the letter, man can see that. You know what I'm saying? But man can't see what's up here. That's why when he sent Samuel, to go anoint David, he told them, don't look up on his appearance, because the Most High don't see as man see it. See, the man see what's on the outside,
Right.
but God see what's up on the inside. So when he went, he seen all the brothers that was before David, and he said, this one got to be it. This one got to be it, but it was because of their appearance. But then when he got to David, David was scrawny, and David was he was a young man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look like he was supposed to be the one that was anointing them, being anointed king. But guess what? David had a heart like the Most High's. He had a heart like the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High was looking up on that and how he was doing, and how he treated. You know what I'm saying? Oh, not how he treated, but the love that he had for the Most High. The love that he had for him. You know what I'm saying? So come on, let's keep going.
You going to Revelation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's get into these revelations, because now what we finna do is we finna connect the two. Show you that the Garden of Eden
Shabbat Shalom, sister.
is New Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? And what we started is what we gonna end.
Yeah, I think he was talking about 21.
Yeah, we're gonna start at verse 1.
You going 20 or 21?
No, we're gonna start in 21, start at verse 1.
Revelation 21 and 1. You said it's on me?
Yes, on you all.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
And that was what?
No more sea.
And understand, when he's saying there was no more sea, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. That's because the old heaven and the old earth, like it said, it'll be rolled up like a vesture and like a garment, and it'll be tossed out. And he'll create a new heaven and he'll create a new earth. But he said there was no more sea, meaning it'll be no more separation between us and the Most High. You will be able to look up into the heavens, and you will be able to look up like Adam and Eve was, and you will be able to see up there. You know what I'm saying? Unlike what it is now, we got that sea. You know what I'm saying? That firmament that's up there, that's dividing, you know what I'm saying, the heavens and the earth. But it'll be like it was, you know what I'm saying, in the garden. You know what I'm saying? Adam and Eve was able to look up into the heavens, and they was able to see the angels praising the Most High. You know what I'm saying? They was able to see, you know, all of that. Like we seen, the Messiah, it said that the Lord God was in the garden. You know what I'm saying? When after Adam and Eve sinned, they said they heard his voice walking in the garden, in the midst of the garden, and they ran and they hid itself. See, we will be returning back to that. But the sea is saying it'll be no more separation. Heaven and earth will be connected once again. Come on.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, The tabernacle of the Most High is with
The
men.
tabernacle of who?
The Most High is with men.
So look, so the Garden of Eden is the tabernacle of God. You know what I'm saying? It's his dwelling place. It's where he dwells at. Again, that's why he was walking in the midst of it. That's why the tree of the knowledge of good, that's why the tree of life was in the midst of the garden. This is where God dwells at. Come on. It's the true holy of holies. Come on.
And that's also what Emmanuel means. Christ's name. God
God is
dwells
with
with us. Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And the Most High himself shall be with them,
And he shall
and be
what?
their Elohim.
So you see that? So it's coming a point in time, man, where we all it's gonna go back to that, to where God is dwelling with us and we dwelling with God, uninhibited by a veil or by some type of or by something that's in the middle between us. You know what I'm saying? It'll no longer be a middle man. You know what I'm saying? It'll no longer be a veil in the middle of us, or no longer be a mediator. We'll deal with him directly. You know what I'm saying? Without any form, without a temple, without a veil, without a mediator. We'll deal with him in full communion. We'll get to experience his full presence, and that day we'll be able to see his face. Because look, other than that, like he told Moses, can't no man see my face and live. You know what I'm saying? Moses could barely look at the backside of his glory. You know what I'm saying? And he seen that, and it scared the hell out of the children of Israel. They had to wrap his face up in a veil to cover him, because the glory that was on the Lord transferred to the face of to Moses. And when he took it off, he said he shined so bright that it scared the children of Israel. What you got, bro?
From Eden to eternity.
Oh, yeah, from Eden to eternity. God's desire to dwell with man. All right, what we at with that, bro?
What you got to buy?
Oh, yeah, what you got?
Oh, praying for him, brother.
Praying for him, right.
He hasn't gone into hospice or anything, has he? Pray not. But I still have moments in time, man. Try to change that diet up on him. Get him some sour sop, some good vegetables and fruits to get him, man. Reach out to Imam Bar. But that sour sop helps a great deal. What else was a big thing? Lemongrass, the purple potatoes.
Cut that sugar out.
Yeah, cut that sugar out.
Cut that sugar out.
Yeah, get that sugar out completely. Anything white, salt, sugar, white bread, white rice. Get rid of whiteness. Get from around white people too. No, I was just playing. I'm just playing. Hey.
See, all right, where we at with that, bro?
Yeah, chapter
21, where did I leave off at? And verse 4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his Elohim, and he shall be my son.
Right.
But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars,
And what?
all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Absolutely. So he letting you know that if you on this list, you might well go ahead and get ready for the lake of fire.
Yeah.
If you on this list, the list mentioned in 1 Corinthians 6 and 9, he said you might well go ahead and get ready for the lake of fire because there's no place in the kingdom of the Most High for you. Oh, come on, let's keep going.
And there came unto me one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials full of 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from Elohim, having the glory of Elohim. And her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Them cherubims at the entrance again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's, I mean, it's just by when you understand, when you start connecting the scriptures together like that, you, even though it's not telling you cherubims right there, you know from in what he explained in the Garden of Eden, you know cherubs are covering these gates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna let anybody in. You have to be you have to be permitted to go through these gates. You know what I'm saying? And he already finna explain to you. It's 12 gates with the name of the 12 tribes of Israel. These are who entering in through these gates, and everybody that was righteous that came before them are entering through whatever gate they want to, whatever gate they choose through. But it's a place for the Gentiles. It's a court. That's why they call it the court of the Gentiles. That's for them. You know what I'm saying? But going through the 12 gates, that's for the 12 tribes of Israel. But come on, let's keep going.
Yeah, 13.
13, okay. On the east, 3 gates. On the north, three gates. On the south, 3 gates. And on the west, 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations. And in them, the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lies 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth.
Right.
And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal.
So he was saying that it's a perfect square.
Right.
It's just, I mean, it's 12,000 furlongs long,
Either way.
12,000 furlongs wide, and 12,000 furlongs high. You know what I'm saying? So look, when you transfer 12,000 furlongs and you convert it into miles, essentially it's 15,000. I mean, it's 1,500 miles in diameter, 15,000 miles high, and 15,000 miles wide. You know what I'm saying? Not 15,000, 1,500. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about this, so he's saying, what he's saying is it'll stretch 1,500 miles. That's like taking it from Los Angeles all the way to Tennessee, and then going down from San Francisco all the way down to Louisiana. It'll stretch that far. It'll take up half the United States. And it's in how big New Jerusalem is. That's how big it is. It's from the West Coast to essentially central America. Yeah, to the Central America. You know what I'm saying? And then it stretched from the top all the way to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? But then he says it's 1,500 miles up. How high do an airplane fly, y'all? Let me see. What the highest? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna see this real fast. So essentially, the highest that an airplane go is 7.6 miles. That's 7.6 miles. You will have to times that times what to get 1,500. You know what I'm saying? To get 1,500. So if an airplane only goes 7.6 miles high in the air, it's telling you that New Jerusalem go almost 5, 6, 7 times that. up into the earth, so it's well outside the atmosphere of the earth. New Jerusalem, it connects the heaven and the earth. So if this the earth, New Jerusalem would be sitting off of it like this. It's going well into the heavens. You look up and you see a plane 7 miles in the air, and you be like, dang, that's high. New Jerusalem is almost quadrupling that. It's almost quadrupling that, so it sits off the earth and it stretches well into the heavens. So now you understand why you will be able to look up into the heavens and you will be able to see what's going on. You see what I'm saying?
Who's got a question?
What do you say?
You got that question too, Bob?
Is that Joshua?
Yes, sir.
Just having a glance up there, I'll get into this curve for me in my backyard. Joshua Prosper says, if you said Satan was a tree and the Lord was good and evil, then how can he change to a serpent?
It's not a physical serpent. It's a title. It's a title, and then the tree are representational of men standing upright like trees. We have limbs. Don't the doctor say what's wrong with your limbs? Like a tree. Your fruit hangs off your tree too.
So essentially it was a
And you
bird.
have a seed, you're a seed bearing tree.
Right.
It says, blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a
Tree planted by the rivers. So, and then you look in Judges, you see the
Judges
trees
8.
talking, and
Yeah, Judges chapter 8.
yeah, and
it was a
you'll
parable
see
as man's
a
as
parable
trees.
of man as trees.
But then in Mark chapter 8 as well, Mark chapter 8 verse 24, when Christ opened the eyes of a blind man,
Right.
he said, what do you see? He said, I see man walking
Walking
as
as
trees.
trees, right?
This was
So-
a blind man. Why would he say, I see them as trees? You know what I'm saying?
So a lot of it is metaphorically
It's not metaphoric, but it's a parable.
parable, and
It's a
so
parable.
you have to know when parables are used versus literal
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
And so a serpent doesn't eat dust; it eat meat.
Right.
It eat live animals.
Right.
But
absolutely.
this serpent's meat is the dust,
But-
which he will eat the residue of the men who followed his doctrine
And he
in
called
the end times.
Yeah, and he called him a serpent because it was characteristic
Of a low beast.
it was a form of his characteristics.
Right.
It was like if you call somebody, man, you a snake.
Snake ass nigga.
Nigga, you low down.
You
and
low
you
down.
dirty.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he was saying. You a snake. You know what I'm saying? What you did was, you know what I'm saying? You stabbed me in the back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what he getting there. But then he also compare him to a dragon when you get in Revelation
Right.
chapter 12. So these all
Parables of
it's all comparing him. It's comparing his
His
characteristics
characteristics. Yeah, his
to
attributes.
something to get you to understand what type of individual that you're dealing with.
the lowest of
Or
low.
the lowest of the low. You know what I'm saying? It's
Nothing
no-
gets lower than the snake
Right.
crawling on your belly. Not even the creeping things.
Right.
You know, they have legs that lift them up. The snake crawls on his belly. Nothing is lower than that, where his whole bottom just drags across the ground.
Yeah.
Or whatever surface is traveling upon.
Right. And his tongue flicking it do. It kind of eat the dust, so to speak. But then he was
licks
just
for his-
comparing him. It was just comparing him there, just like he compared him to Leviathan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's to get you to understand something about this individual. It's not for him saying he was a literal serpent. His behavior was serpent-like.
Was so low.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was so low that the best thing to get you to understand it was to compare him to a serpent.
I mean, just like what you were saying.
Yeah.
Him messing with children. What do we compare a pedophile to? Lower than low.
Boy,
You
right.
messing with a child who can't defend
Defend
themselves.
themselves.
You lower than the lowest of low.
Right.
How low can you go? That's the lowest of low to corrupt innocence.
To corrupt it. What you got, Tubai?
Sister Renee in the chat, she has a question. She has, my grandson wanted to know about the firmament. When do it begin and end?
Say that again. When do it
When does-
begin?
When does it begin and when does it end, the firmament?
I
The
don't
New
know.
Jerusalem,
I don't
when
understand
he
the
brings down the New Jerusalem. So she asked him, when does the firmament end?
She said, my grandson wanted to know about the
firmament, when
Like,
does
I
it
mean,
begin?
like is she saying where is the starting point and where is the ending point?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean the Bible don't really say what's the starting point and what's the end point of the firmament. But I mean, like when you get into Jeremiah 31, he tell you if it could be measured. You know what I'm saying? If it could be measured, if
So
you
is
can
she
find
asking, what's the
that's-
length of it, or
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
does it end?
Does
Because
it have
I'm
a
wondering
beginning
if,
and an end?
so
I mean,
I'm
just
wondering
ask
if
her,
she's
could you
referring back
rephrase
to
her? Could you
this
just
Revelation
rephrase your
21.
question? Yeah,
Or they
what it
referring back to this Revelation 21 where the New Jerusalem coming down and the old
Yeah, is
heavens
that
and
what she
earth
asked?
has passed away.
I'm waiting on response.
But yeah, while we're
Let's
waiting
move
on the
forward.
response, yeah, we
We're
can just go
gonna-
ahead and
I
move
had
forward.
one more while you waiting on the
Oh, well, go ahead. What's your other one too, Bob?
Hold on one moment. Scroll back down to it. Mr. 0891 asks, so the black box over in Mecca is their version of New Jerusalem?
You say who?
So the black box over in Mecca is their version of New Jerusalem?
Is it, who version of New Jerusalem?
Nah, that ain't that. I don't.
No,
I,
that has
yeah.
absolutely nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
That's-
No, he said is that they
Their
version.
version of New Jerusalem?
It's talking about the Muslims, that black box that they walk
But that
around.
black box has been there for
Yeah.
a long time. They
Yeah.
go visit that.
Yeah.
That's how they do their
Religious worship.
their
based on-
pilgrimage.
Yeah.
And they walk around that box, which has a meteorite inside of it, whom they say is Allah. They walk around that, I don't know how many times, and they try to build a lot of their things based off the scriptures, them being the children of Abraham. But it has no correlation whatsoever to the scriptures. It's a religion made up by the Roman Catholic Church to try to overthrow that land. And that's what it was. It was a scheme that backfired on the Catholic Church.
Right.
And hasn't many, I've heard about, all the people that have died wandering.
Going to Mecca for that pilgrimage. I mean, they probably do. I mean, you look at all the millions of people that's walking around that thing, they probably getting trampled to death. I don't know. I don't care. Ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah. And to answer your question, no, it ain't got. I don't think it got nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, what we doing or what's being spoken of in the scripture. But where we at with that, we ain't even got that much time.
We're gonna have to run this
Yeah.
couple of Sabbaths, bro.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah.
Yeah. And we-
Because this ain't no class that you're gonna. It's too
too much information
to try
yeah,
to
too much to get into
you know
one class.
to compare, to make the comparison of the heavenly and earthly tabernacles.
Absolutely.
And it's very hard to wrap this up in one class session, especially dealing with questions and things of this nature and trying to do breakdowns.
Yeah.
So, we just stretch it out.
Yeah,
It is what it
definitely
is, and
stretch
we
it out.
got all praises to Elohim to give us time to do it.
That's right. So with all you're getting, get understanding.
Absolutely.
Don't smooth over it and leave somebody behind with questions.
Yeah, no, we
Because a
definitely-
lot of times, we try to do these classes within one Sabbath session, but a lot of times there's way too much information to share in one class, so we have to extend them. And so a lot of times we try to give homework. However, a lot of times, the homework is not being done because the class is over, and so people move on to whatever they're doing in their everyday lives. And they may take precedence over, okay, I gotta go do some homework and things of this nature. Well, I just rewatched the class. Well, what happens is there's a lot of information that we would like to share with the worldwide assembly that doesn't get shared, especially if the people don't do the homework. So you don't get that information, that extra added information. So a lot of times we need to extend these classes so that we can share those important pieces of information and notes that we compile with you all, because not everyone gets the chance to go over the lessons or do the homework or whatever it may be, whatever the case may be. Life be life. So, and it's not to say, this or that, but it is what it is. So if we have to, we'll just extend it.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Right. So, you know, it is what it is. We just thank Elohim that he give us the platform, give us the time and the resources to do what we have to do. And that we can bring forth this information to the worldwide assembly when we can.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
know, that's a blessing.
Absolutely.
May I say to help with that is kind of keep the questions within the realm of the class.
Mhm.
Where we teach it on.
Yeah, it'll help the flow of the class definitely, but you know,
Of the subject.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we understand because I mean, shoot, we only do it once a week, so you know, you
Yeah,
come
and
back, you know,
sometimes people
everybody
may have
had
a
it,
question
yeah,
that
all
they had last week or Monday or sometime during the course of the week that's pressing to them and they
Right.
want to get it asked and answered. And so our thing is, according to the scriptures and our instructions, it's in a season and out of season. So we have to be apt to teach as well as ready to answer.
Right.
And so with that, you know, we invite questions of all sorts from every realm, you know, because, you know, there may be more than one person that may have that same question, you know, and we try to do our best to get them answered.
All praise.
We don't know everything. So if we don't have the answer right then and there, we will get back to you within that next week with the answer.
All right, what we was at, Revelations 21 and
I
18?
stopped at
Or 17.
17? Yeah, 17. And he measured the wall thereof, 144 cubits according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth topaz, the 10th chrysoprase, the 11th a jacinth, the 12th an amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of one pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold.
Was what?
Pure gold,
Look,
as
that's
it were
why-
transparent glass.
Right, and that's why when you read about the setting up of the tabernacle and the temple, everything was overlaid with gold
Yes.
because it was mimicking the city. You know what I'm saying? That's why it would say make it of acacia wood or make it of shittim wood and then overlay it with pure gold. Because the city, the New Jerusalem, is overlaid with pure gold. You know what I'm saying? Gold is a very spiritual and divine mineral.
Yeah.
Very spiritual and very divine.
And then you'll also see that, well, as we get further into, you know, the classes and we stretch it on, when we start talking about the furniture in the tabernacle and how it represented Christ, you'll see that a lot of the Ark of the Covenant was made of acacia wood, which is a hard, dense wood that prevents
Rotten. It was resilient.
Yeah, it's resilient, so it couldn't rot. It was to preserve over a long period of time,
Yeah.
to keep things sacred
Yeah.
and everything. So just like the Messiah, you know, and his characteristics of pure and resilience.
Right.
The
In
word
terms-
is resilient.
Right, and you got to remember, shoot, we was moving through the wilderness, so we was going through all type of weather conditions.
Yeah, and
You know
he
what I'm
said
saying?
our
So-
feet didn't wax
Right.
old, or
Yeah.
our
Clothes,
clothes
our
didn't wax
shoes.
old or anything. So
You know what I'm saying? And it was the
we
same
show
thing with
resilience.
the tabernacle. The tabernacle, man, they had that same tabernacle moving through the wilderness for 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about it.
And it
Acacia, right, absolutely. You know, when you start seeing wood that's exposed to the elements, man, that stuff, it either start to bend and, you know what I'm saying, and
warp.
brittle and warp and all type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then look, not only that, but it said that acacia wood, termites didn't like acacia wood.
no, they couldn't penetrate it.
Yeah,
They
didn't
couldn't
like
do
it.
anything to it.
So it was that he chose it for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Because the tabernacle needed to be, it needed to represent, you know what I'm saying, as close on the earthly side as it could.
Yeah, the heavenly tabernacle.
The heavenly tabernacle.
As well as those who follow the law, statutes, and judgments of Elohim being coins tried in the furnace of affliction.
Yeah.
So you have to show resilience. He said, endure to the end. Endure the afflictions to the end,
Yeah.
and you will be rewarded.
Yeah, because you either gonna get tried in the fire, or you gonna, you know what I'm saying,
Gonna be
shoot,
destroyed in the fire.
One or the other. One or the other.
Verse 22. And I saw no temple therein.
And I saw no what?
No temple therein.
So this gonna be imperative to understand moving forward in this lesson. In New Jerusalem, he's saying there is no temple. Come on.
For the Most High Elohim Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
So that's the temple of it. So when we get into the Ezekiel temple, you know what I'm saying, you will start to understand it can't be talking about the kingdom.
Right.
Because he's saying right here is no temple in New Jerusalem. It's no temple there. You
And
know what I'm
remember,
saying?
Christ said he was going to destroy that temple in 3 days and rebuild it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely is, like he's saying, is God and it's the Messiah. That's the true temple. Come on.
And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it. For the glory of Elohim did light it. And the Lamb is the light thereof.
So now we'll be returning back to Genesis 1:1 when he said, and God said, let there be light.
Yes, sir.
And there was light.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? 3 whole days before the sun was ever created.
That's right.
The light of the world, or the true light of the world, was the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I am the light of the world. Him that believeth
Then
on
on
me
me.
shall not walk in darkness.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's the Messiah that's the king. That's the light of the world and the Father thereof. So he's saying there'll be no need for the sun and the moon. Come on.
And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth,
Anything that would?
defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
So that's what he explained it to you. He explained it to you. Nothing unrighteous or nothing that goes against the Most High is going to be in this city or in this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So, if you on that 1 Corinthians 6 list, you need to start marking stuff off, and you need to start working on it, because like Paul said, these will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? So it's yeah, that's fine, Iman. So he's saying, that's an automatic, you know what I'm saying, no, as far as getting into the kingdom. And here again, John the Revelator is being a second witness to what Paul was saying. These type of individuals will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So now with that being said, let's go into this chapter 22.
Revelation 22, verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb.
So you see that? So this same pure water, pure river of water of life that ran out, that proceeded from the throne, is the same river that went out the Garden of Eden and poured it into 4 heads. It's the same exact river, showing you again that these two are both one and the same. Come on.
In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life.
The tree of what?
Tree of life.
So what did we see the tree of life at?
In the garden.
In the Garden of Eden. It was in the midst of the Garden of Eden. So here we go again. We right back in the beginning to where Adam had access to the tree of life, but by him and Eve transgressing the word of the Most High, the way to the tree of life was X'd off to them. Come on.
Which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation.
It was for the what?
Healing of the nation.
Come on.
And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads.
So you see that? So in this day, it's telling you that we'll see the face of the Most High. Whereas before, previously, it was already known and understood. The Most High said, man, can't nobody see my face and live.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because his face was so glorious, so magnificent. Man, you would incinerate up on seeing it.
Pure.
The flesh, this sinful flesh couldn't handle that type of glory.
It'll burn.
Yeah, to burn them. It's like, it would be like trying to look at the sun. Man,
Like-
you would go blind.
It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark when they opened the ark and all of them melted.
Boy, yeah, that's what it's like.
Immediately.
Yeah, that's what it's like immediately. See, Enoch described them. He said when he seen them, he described them as ineffable, meaning I'm unable to put this into words. What I'm saying right now, the only way I could describe it is ineffable. It's nothing that words can do to explain to you what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of glory that the Most High had. And look, and what they do is they compare his glory to things that we consider glorious. That's why I say in Revelation, and when you get into Ezekiel, it say, and from his loins even downward, it was the color of amber?
Amber.
It was the color of amber. Or it was like the jasper stone. Or it was like the sapphire stone. It's comparing his glory. It's not telling you he this color, because you can't compare supernatural, incorruptible
To
to
anything
flesh
on earth.
and what's corruptible.
There's
You
nothing
don't
on
do
earth to
that.
compare it to.
Yeah, it's nothing on earth to compare it to.
Because everything
You
on
can
earth
just
right
give-
now is corrupt.
Yeah, you could just give it. You could just compare the glory, or try and give you an understanding of the glory thereof. It's like when basically what he's saying is, it's just like when you look at a jasper stone, and you be like, man, that's a beautiful stone. The glory of this stone is magnificent. That's all he's saying. Yeah, that's all he's saying. You know what I'm saying? So, what we at with that? What verse was you in, bro?
I was in
25.
Three.
Oh,
22 and
3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 3. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle.
It shall be no what?
No night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Most High Yah giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever.
Right, so meaning they gonna reign forever, meaning it ain't gonna be no end to this reign. So we can read the rest of it. Let me see. Yeah, we can read the rest of that. Yeah, read it on now.
Verse 6. And he said unto me, these things are faithful and true. And the Most High Yah of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done. Behold, I come quickly.
I come what?
I come quickly.
Right.
Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book.
And what? That's a blessing right there.
Exactly.
He said it's a blessing for keeping these, for keeping the sayings of these prophecies right here. So why would anybody want to keep you out of the book of Revelation?
Exactly.
Blessing block.
Yeah, blocking your blessings.
Yeah.
Come on.
Verse 8. And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel.
Before the feet of the who?
Of the angel.
Come on.
Which showed me these things.
So he dropping down and he getting ready to bow down and prostrate himself and worship this angel. Come on.
Verse 9. Then saith he unto me, see thou do it not.
So that's what the angel said to him, man. Look, get up. Don't do that to me.
Right.
Man, you tripping.
Right.
Come on.
For I am thy fellow servant.
I am thy what?
Fellow servant.
So me and you, we walking shoulder and shoulder
Right.
in this thing. You know, I might be in the heaven, you might be on the earth, man, but we still fellow servants.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no big I's and little U's.
You don't do that.
You know what I'm saying? No, we don't do that. So, get on up off your knees, bro, and stand up. But see, notice that the Messiah never did this. Exodus chapter 3, Joshua chapter 5, man,
Yeah.
with he told Moses and he told Joshua, hey, take your shoes off and, you know what I'm saying? And they both dropped down to their knees.
Bow down,
because
man.
they already knew who they was dealing with.
Right.
You know, they knew who they was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So, like the book of Hebrews say, man, he wasn't no regular angel.
Right.
You know, he wasn't no regular angel. This was the creator.
Captain
You know
of
what
the
I'm
host.
saying? The captain of the host. You know who the book of Colossians say, man, he created all visible and invisible.
Yes.
Whether it be thrones, whether it be kingdoms, principalities, all of it, he created that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference between him and the angels. You know, it say every knee shall bow, every mouth shall confess when he make his return. Come on.
For I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren the prophets,
Right.
and of them which keep the sayings of this book, worship Yahweh.
Got you. Come on.
And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still.
Right. So if an individual unjust or they filthy, that's just how they finna ride this thing out.
That's right.
It ain't no need of trying to, beat him over the head and make him do something that he ain't trying to do. Look, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You know, if an individual is unjust at this point in time, let him remain unjust or let him remain filthy.
Right.
Come on.
And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
That do his what?
His commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life.
Look, he said that's the blessing that you get. The blessing that you get for keeping these commandments
Right.
is you have right to the tree of life. And they just said the tree of life is going to bear fruit.
Right.
12 manner of fruit, which is for the healing of the nations. Come on.
And may enter in through the gates into the city.
Enter in, and then he said you will be able to enter in through the gates of the city. Come on.
For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
Right.
I, Yeshua, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David.
I am the what?
The root and the offspring of David.
So he telling you he's the beginning of David and he's an offspring or descendant of David. You can't have one without the other. That's why when he ran into the scribes and Pharisees, he said, how if David in the Psalm said, the Lord saith unto my Lord, but yet David called it, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But you saying that he the son of David. And it tripped up the Pharisees because they couldn't answer. You know what I'm saying? Because how is it that he's the son of David, but yet David is calling him Lord?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like what they do to that? What father calls their son Lord? You know what I'm saying?
The
So you
son
gotta
and
make
the-
sure you keep the root point.
Right.
Because then you will truly understand the individual in which we dealing with, and you won't never try and take his position. Like you get individuals that call themselves the high priest. You know what I'm
just
saying?
high.
Yeah, he just high.
He just high.
You know what I'm saying? We only got one high priest. You know what I'm saying? And then you will put that respect on his name like that from the perspective of you will understand what's being said when it's saying that he's after the power of an endless life. You know, he's after the power of an endless life, understanding that Joseph could never be the father of the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? He was born after the power of the Holy Spirit. Oh, come on, let's keep going. Or was that the end of this?
No, we got just a couple more. I am the root and the offspring of David.
Right, and that's why he was saying, my bad, that's why he was saying in that John 17, give me the glory that I had before the world was. You know, return to me that glory. That's why, and then what is that, Micah chapter 5? where he say is one that's gonna come out of Bethlehem, who's going forth is from everlasting. Yeah, who's going forth is from everlasting. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that he's the root first of David, and then he's the offspring. Come on. And offspring don't just mean, my bad, offspring don't just mean coming from Joseph.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like we read in that Revelation chapter, not Revelation, but like we read in that Genesis chapter 3, he said, I'm going to put enmity between your seed and her seed.
Right.
You match that up with Revelation chapter 12, it explains to you that the woman has a seed. You know what I'm saying? And that seed was the Messiah. Mm-hmm. The redemption plan for for Adam and Eve falling in the garden to bring back all creation into harmony again. You know what I'm saying? So come on. That's why when he started explaining, like, in the new kingdom during the millennial reign, you know what I'm saying? The sheep and the wolf shall eat together, the lion shall eat the straw. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be no more predator and prey. Everything will be brought back into harmony. You know what I'm saying? Everything will be brought back into harmony, like it was originally supposed to be from the get-go. So come on. Oh, what you got, LC?
I was on point because I was the day you always use Matthew 1, try to explain the side.
Right. No, you got to go back to the beginning to explain the Messiah. That's why he say I come in the volume of the book. We don't look at him just from the offspring part. We look at him from the root as well. And then that's why we say, man, you'll understand who it was in the burning bush. Who it was that Joshua met when in Joshua chapter 5 when he said, are you with us or you against us? And he said, shoot, I'm neither. Y'all with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the captain of this host. Come on, you'll understand what he meant when he said before Abraham was. Abraham rejoiced to see my day. Mm-hmm. Before Abraham was, I am.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But they didn't understand it, so they took up stones to try and stone him. But not understanding, like, look, man, he was already around before the world was even created. What you got, Tubai?
Trucking got another question in the chat.
About the Sabbath.
I'm still confused about how we're supposed to keep the Shabbat in captivity. Like I'm at work now. Will the Most High pardon us on this?
What you got to understand is the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath.
What you have to understand is if you sign a contract saying that you will work on the Sabbath, understand this. When it was talking about working on the Sabbath, it was about getting you some rest from them 6 days that you work consistently.
Right.
So that you rest your body and prep it for another 6 days.
Mm-hmm. And then
If you signed a contract that you're going to work on the Sabbath, so be it. But at some point, you have to get some rest. Otherwise, you will fall out. You can't work 7 days a week, all day, every day. That's why Moses went to Pharaoh and say, hey, you got to give them a day of rest. You're going to kill them, working them nonstop. Right. Even on the plantations, we had a day of rest because you'll work a slave to death.
Right. You got a question?
In today's time, you have to seek some type of rest from what you do on a consistent basis for your paycheck.
Right. He said the priests defiled the Sabbath and are yet blameless.
And they are blameless because they had work. They still had to do work.
Now, we saying if you can get out of working on the Sabbath, get
So
out of
be
working
it.
on the Sabbath.
But if you can't, and it's part of your contract, then you do it. But you have just repent and get the rest that you can when you can.
Right. And pray
But
to the
you
Most
owe
High.
it to yourself to rest. That's what the Most High set up the Sabbath for, is so you can rest your body and rejuvenate.
It works for you, not you for it.
Right.
And then, when we talk about the fringes and the man defiled the Sabbath, he did it presumptuously, like, I don't care what's going on, I'm going to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. That's why it was cursed. Mm-hmm. Because he said, regardless of what y'all doing, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he went against the Most High's will.
Yeah.
That's why.
Right.
It wasn't just the fact that he picked up sticks. He did it out of rebellion.
Right.
Let me get her real fast. What you got, sis? And then we come.
Just saying, agreeing with
Elisha.
Elijah. I keep wanting to say Isaiah, but we had, I worked for U.S. Bank. We worked Monday to Friday, was the first, but then we had mandatory Saturdays to work. So I thought that better had requested.
She was talking about that at her job. She had a mandatory. They worked Monday through Fridays, but sometimes they had mandatory Saturdays that they had to work.
So I requested that day off based on religion.
So she said she requested the day off based on her religious beliefs, and they gave it to her. So you can submit that to your employer. However, sometimes when you go in for the job, they ask you, can you work weekends? Because you need the job, you say yeah.
Right.
But then you wanna
Backpedal.
you wanna renege
Yeah.
once you get hired. You can't do that.
Nah.
You
got to
can't
go
do
in
that.
And you got to say this.
Go
what it is.
in with the mindset of, hey, listen, this is my belief. May I have this particular day off because this is my belief, this is what I practice. Now, they can either say yay or nay. Okay? But at least you do your due diligence on your behalf up front.
Yeah.
All right?
and then-
But you can't sign a contract and then try to, renege on the contract that you signed, because then you're going to find yourself fired and in the unemployment line.
Right.
Then
'Cause,
you
I mean,
will have the
because-
Sabbath off.
Yeah, oh, you'll have it all.
I mean, because look, in order to keep the Sabbath, it's two parts of it. You got to work 6 days first.
Right.
And then you gotta rest.
Right.
So if you resting 6 days, what's the point of resting on the 7th day too?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like what you resting from? Rest?
So the thing is
yeah.
people don't, you got some Israelites who think they have Israelite privileges, who think they ain't supposed to work. Well, the law says a man must work to the sweat of his brow. That was Genesis 3:17, 18, and 19.
And if a man don't work, he don't eat.
You don't work, you don't eat. You don't eat, you don't sleep.
And then that's why in the book of Ecclesiastes, Solomon said, enjoy the fruits
Of
of
your
your
labor.
labor. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? You work hard. Right. You ain't got if you ain't working, you ain't gonna have no fruits.
You ain't gonna have nothing.
And a man that can't take care of his household is worse than an infidel.
Yes, sir.
So a man got to go to work. You got to take care of the family, man. That's your job. That's your responsibility.
Absolutely.
Adam had a responsibility. He was created with responsibilities
Absolutely.
to be a husband, a father, and have husbandry.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the cur. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
Provide
cur.
and protect for them.
And that's building a vineyard to provide for the
Absolutely.
family.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
All right, where we at with that? We ain't got too much longer, y'all.
The book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 17.
We're gonna hit 2 more scriptures and we're gonna call it.
Yeah, there'll be Elisha's too.
Yeah. It's gonna be Isaiah 60, 19 through 22, and Isaiah 65, 17
Okay.
and 19.
Revelations 22 and 17. And the Spirit and the bride said, Come, and let him that heareth say, Come, and let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. For I testify unto every man that heareth the word of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yah shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yah shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. He which testifieth these things saith, Surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so, come, Master Yahushua.
Praise.
The grace of our Master Yeshua HaMashiach be with you all.
So
Amen.
you see that. So again, it's showing you, or you can see the parallels between the Garden of Eden and New Jerusalem, showing you that they're the same exact thing. But what it was, after Adam and Eve sinned there, it had to be taken up and it had to be clean. And now that's what it's saying when it's coming back down in Revelation 21, it's all cleaned up. It's dressed up like a bride in all white with no spots or wrinkles on that all white dress. And he says it's like that bride coming down the aisle to meet her husband.
Right.
That's what it's comparing it to, but it's new. It's the same paradise. You know what I'm saying? You get into you get into the book of Enoch. You know what I'm saying? And it'll tell you that it went up to the third level of heaven. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 say the same exact thing. Paul say, I went up into the third level of heaven, into paradise. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, now we're going to hit this Isaiah 60, 19 through 22, and Isaiah 65, 17 through 19, and we'll call it, y'all. And we'll just have to pick up the rest next class.
You said 16 through what?
Isaiah 60, 19 through 22. Yeah.
And Isaiah, what's the second?
Isaiah 65, 17 through 19.
We'll start at 18.
Yeah, and when you read this Isaiah, you know what I'm saying? When I was reading it, I was looking at it at first, and you know what I'm saying? You looking at it and you being like, hold on, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Is this talking about the millennial reign, or is it talking about, you know what I'm saying, New Jerusalem? But it's certain language in here that make you start realizing, like, man, he talking about both in the same thing. And when I start looking it up, this what they call telescoping prophecy. And it is explained like this. It's like, you know what I'm saying, when you see two mountains afar off, two mountain peaks, you think they both the same mountain. Mm-hmm. But as you start getting closer, you start realizing that it's a gap between it, and you see different valleys and, you know what I'm saying, and fields in between them. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with these type of prophecies. You know what I'm saying? He running two prophecies together. But he talking about two different events. One, he talking about the millennial reign, and then he's talking about New Jerusalem. Because see, in New Jerusalem, it'll be no death, it'll be no singing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But those things will still be, or it'll be the opportunity for it in the millennial reign. Even though Satan is locked up, you know what I'm saying, eventually pride can still be found in the individual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And after Satan is let out again, everything gets thrown into the lake of fire before New Jerusalem comes. Everything gets thrown into the lake of fire. Death, hell, you know what I'm saying? Satan, the false prophet, the beast, are all thrown into the lake of fire, and then New Jerusalem come, where he said it will be no more pain. It'll be no more sorrow. It'll be no more death. And without death, that means there's no more sin. Why? Because the wages of sin is death.
That's right.
Yep.
So you know what I'm saying? So you start to seeing that he running two prophecies together that's closely related. Because what we'll understand later on as we get deeper into this lesson, the Messiah kingdom, his 1,000-year reign, after that 1,000-year reign, he'll turn everything over to the Father. And when he turned everything over to the Father, that's when New Jerusalem comes down. So come on, let's read these two scriptures, y'all, and we'll get up out of here. You say you're going to start in verse 18?
Yeah, I'm going to start at verse 18.
Right.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 18. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise. Mm-hmm. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Most High shall be unto thee an everlasting light.
So you see this? So this tie in right with Revelations 21 and 23 and with Revelations 22 and 25, where it say it'll be no need for the sun or the moon, for God and the Lamb will be the light thereof.
Right.
You know, again, we'll be returning back to how it was in the beginning, where it was light 3 days before the sun and the moon and the stars was ever created to give light onto the earth. The original light will be shining again. Mm-hmm. Like when the Messiah said, and I'm the light of the world. Come on. Verse 20.
But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and the Most High thy glory. Verse 20. Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself. For the Most High shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended.
Right.
Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation.
Right.
I, the Most High, will hasten it in its time.
Right. So this is the same exact language that we seeing in the book of Revelation, tied to New Jerusalem. So one more, y'all, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65, 17 through 19. Or is it 19 through 22? Let me see.
17.
Yeah, 17 through 19. Yeah, there we is.
Isaiah chapter 65, verse 17. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind.
Right, so it'll never be. So he's saying again, this is the same language that we read in Revelation 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, and there was no more sea. But he's saying the former things will never come into your mind again. It's just like the world that was before Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? That stuff don't come into our mind. Like when he said in Jeremiah 4:24, you know what I'm saying? And I seen the earth and it was void, and the heavens and it had no light. See, what the Most High is a pattern of consistency. When he destroyed that world, it was the same way in which when he come back, this world to be destroyed. When he come back, the first thing I'm doing is I'm turning out all the lights. Everything going dark. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Jeremiah is saying. He's saying, matching up perfectly with Genesis 1 and 1. And you know what I'm saying? In the heavens and the earth, they had no light. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I seen no man. Letting you know that it was the destruction, because right after it, he terraforms the earth. He create Adam and Eve, and he told them to be fruitful, to multiply, and to replenish the earth. The same exact instructions that he gave Noah after destroying the earth. Be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. Letting you know that a destruction had taken place due to the war that took place in heaven.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The earth before Adam and Eve was destroyed, but it never enters into our mind. He's saying the same thing about when the earth be destroyed this time, and he create a new heaven and a new earth. You know what I'm saying? Because according to Peter say, man, we still under the same heaven and the same earth as Adam and Eve. Even though he destroyed it with in Noah's flood, he's still saying, man, we under the same heaven and we still under the same earth as Adam and Eve. But when this go around, he said, I'm creating a new heaven and a new earth, and then I'll put New Jerusalem right there again. Just like it was in the beginning when he created a new heaven and a new earth for Adam and Eve. He put he put paradise right there in the east. You know what I'm saying? And it connected the heavens and the earth. But all right, where you at with that?
Verse 17.
Verse 18.
18.
Yeah.
But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her,
Right.
nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days.
Right. So just basically what he's just saying is true, that it'll go back to like it was with Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? Adam and Eve didn't have umbilical cords. You know what I'm saying? They was created already like they were. You know what I'm saying? Just like he said, you know what I'm saying, man, he planted all the trees like they was. He didn't put seed in the ground and then it sprouted up.
No,
it was already a full-blown tree.
What came first, the egg or the chicken?
Yeah, the egg or the chicken, right. That's what we saying. So it ain't gonna be no more infants or you know what I'm saying or nothing like that. When we return to the beginning, we'll truly return to the beginning. But this time everything will have to go forth and it have to be completed in righteousness.
Right,
You know what I'm
so-
saying? That's why he say, I'm gonna lock Satan up for 1,000 years, but then I'm gonna let him out again. And when I let him out again, it's gonna really test and see who's rocking with the Most High and who not. You know what I'm saying? And then when he say when that happened, after you know what I'm saying, after that final Armageddon war, everything could be wiped clean. Everything could be wiped clean, and only the righteous will survive. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll move from that 1,000-year reign, and we'll move into what's called eternity.
Everlasting kingdom.
Yeah, we'll move into eternity. Yeah, so with that being said, y'all, we gonna hold that, and we'll pick up next class, Most High willing, with the rest of it.
But yeah, with that 20th, it was saying that children have to be, when we get back to Eden, there has to be children born in righteousness, which was meant for Adam and Eve. But it never happened because they transgressed before they had children in righteousness. So, I said in the garden, so like in this verse 20, and also in Isaiah chapter 4, we have to get back to what was intended in the garden for Adam and Eve to have children in righteousness, in pureness.
Right.
And so that's what we get back to, and that's what it's talking about. That children, when we get back to that, children will be
Born in
produced in righteousness now. So we'll get back to finally getting life the way it was intended by Christ.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we have to get back to, because Adam and Eve transgressed before they had children in righteousness.
Right.
So their first children were born outside of paradise.
Right. Right.
In transgression.
Right.
So that's when they say, hey, I was shaping in iniquity and everything. So now conception is a lot of conception is through
Pain,
lust,
and,
pain, different things, instead of righteousness, which was set up originally in the garden.
Yeah.
So we have to get back to that.
What you got, bro?
Okay, I'm still was going back and forth with Sister Eve and the chat and whatnot. I was trying to reassure that she could take the Sabbath off. Sister saying, so we accept the job working on the Shabbat and or be without a job, got it. And then she says right here, and when they say no, the Most High will pardon, correct?
When they say no, the most hard.
If they say no, she can't work or she can't have the Shabbat off. She was saying if she works on that Shabbat, the Most High pardon her.
If she work, if she saying if she work on the Shabbat with the Most High,
If she
The
works
thing-
on the Shabbat with the Most High pardon her, she's really worried about working the Shabbat.
yeah,
There's a pardon because that's you working for to
provide for
provide
your
for your household.
right.
Now, do you work 7 days a week? Because if you're working 7 days a week, sister, you do need a Sabbath. You need a break. You need a day off so you can rejuvenate your body. Not only your flesh, but your spirit, which is the most important.
Right. So
And that's what the Sabbath is about, is for you to get rest.
Right, and that's
to
why
rejuvenate, to recharge yourself
Yeah.
for the next work week.
right. Absolutely. And then you got to get into that.
She can request it. You can put in a request, sister. There are things you can do. You can put in requests for the days off. You know,
She don't work 7 days a week.
she does.
She doesn't.
Okay, so whatever those days you have off of will be treated as your Sabbaths. You need to treat those days, whatever days you have, as your Sabbaths. Now, when we have holy days, those are to be treated as Sabbaths. The beginning and the end of those feast days are to be treated as Sabbaths, even though they may fall on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatsoever. But you have to have a rest day to rejuvenate. That's what the Sabbath was made for, man, not man for the Sabbath.
Right.
It's for you to rest your body, your spirit, and soul, and get it ready for the next. And so what we're doing now, sister, a lot of the things we do now is a foreshadowing of things to come. So we're trying to get ourselves prepped and oil in our lamps so that we can get a permanent rest, Sabbath. Enter into the Most High Sabbath. So read 2nd Ezra chapter, what's that, 3? Chapter 3, and it talks about his eternal rest. Also read Hebrews chapter 2, 3,
And 4.
and 4 about his entering his rest,
And then
his
read,
eternal rest.
read Matthew chapter 12 too, because Matthew chapter 12, the Messiah dealing with the Pharisees coming to him
Right.
about a situation where his disciples was walking through the cornfield and did some stuff that they deemed was unworthy on the Sabbath day. And the Messiah had to set them right. The Messiah asked the question, well, what about if your mule fall in the hole on the Sabbath day? Do you get it out? You know, or what about the priests? What about the priests that profane the Sabbath, but it yet counted blameless?
Right.
You know what I'm
And they
saying?
had
So
to
he's
work.
showing you, he giving you the understanding that it's mercy with certain things that you
Right.
do, because we in captivity. So you might have to work on the Sabbath. We not in charge here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might have to work on the Sabbath.
To provide
but it's
for your
other things
household.
that you can do. You know what I'm saying? You can still, like you doing right now, throw in your earplugs and listen to the Sabbath class.
Right.
You know, rest mentally. You know what I'm saying?
There's different
There's other
ways
things
of
that you could do, and it's just showing you that it's a level of mercy that the Most High have, because he say, as my majesty is, so is my mercy.
Yes.
You know, David, he allowed David to eat the showbread.
Right.
Which
Which
wasn't-
was not permitted.
for common man. But he allowed David to eat the showbread that wasn't supposed to be eaten by a common man, but it's just going to show you that, you know what I'm saying, that man is more than the Sabbath.
Right.
The Sabbath you wasn't made to honor the Sabbath. For the Sabbath was made for you. That's what you got to understand, because like Elisha was saying, if you run your body for 7 days a week, then you're going to go into hibernation. You're going to shut down. Your body's going to force you to go to sleep.
The Most
Just
High
like
will
a
shut you
computer.
down.
Yeah.
You
computer.
start getting sick
Yep.
and all that, because that's what happens is you run your immune system low. And it can't rejuvenate, and you sick.
Yep.
And you ain't no telling
Can't
how
rest.
sick you could be. So, you need that rest, sister. You have to have it. And so whatever days you're off, treat those as your Sabbath. Let those be your rest days.
I do want to know when your classes are, RTL. When you do your thing, your 3 nights a week, right?
I think she got
RTL, he said.
But if that's an issue, then put in a request for a Sabbath off. But the thing is, what I was saying is, before you even go apply for a job, before you even apply for the job, you want the Sabbath off. Go in and try to negotiate that. This is my belief. I don't work the Sabbath.
So he'll know he didn't ask.
But you have to put that up front. You can't sign a contract and then renege and say, this is my belief. I don't work on the Sabbath. Now you want to bark up against the powers that be. You're going to be unemployed. So just do it right. Go in up front. Let them know what your belief system is. If they can't negotiate that, then the choice is on you. Do I take the job or not?
Right.
Do I go look for another job that I have the Sabbath off?
You might be in a position to where you gotta work the Sabbath.
Yeah.
You know
Some
what I'm
jobs
saying? Shoot,
may
you-
be
Yeah.
behind and say, hey, we need overtime.
Or,
We need you to come in Sabbath and work a few hours.
Right, because if you got kids, and you know what I'm saying, you ain't had a job in over a month.
Man, shit. You can't afford to take
Man,
no
you
that
can't
effort.
afford to say I ain't finna work the Sabbath.
Mama
You know what
did.
I'm saying? If they come to you and saying you gotta work the Sabbath, shoot, you just gonna have to take it, and you just gonna have to pray your way through that.
Speaking of prayers,
Mama D. Really?
Wow.
No. No, that ain't what she said, Mike. She just said he on the base. Slow it up, Mike.
I
right, y'all. Hey, we gonna hold it there. We got any more questions or anything, y'all, before we close out? If not, if y'all will donate a shekel or two, man, it'll be greatly appreciated. No, I'll be. Mike was like, "Who got shot?"
That's where the story starts.
You got shot. Who shot you?
All right, family. We're going to get this closing prayer, and it is with the Most High's permission, and it's in the name of His only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know Him as Jesus the Christ, family. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 111th chapter, it reads, Praise ye the Most High. I will praise Yahweh with my whole heart, in the assembly of the upright, and in the congregation. The words of the Most High are great, sought out of all them that have pleasure therein. His work is honorable and glorious, and his righteousness endureth forever. He hath made his wonderful works to be remembered. The Most High is gracious and full of compassion. He hath given meat unto them that fear him. He will ever be mindful of his covenant. He hath showed his people the power of his works, that he may give them the heritage of the heathen. The works of his hands are verity and judgment. All his commandments are sure. They stand fast forever and ever, and are done in truth and uprightness. He sent redemption unto his people. He hath commanded his covenant forever. Holy and reverend is his name. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. Hallelujah! Say live! All right, y'all. Yes, sir. Praise the silly. Somebody got power.
Oh, you crazy.
Repeat that